The Phantom Express. It was a quiet, moonless night in the small town of Millhaven. The townspeople had long whispered tales of the Phantom Express, a ghost train that was said to haunt the abandoned tracks just beyond the old rail yard. Few believed the stories, chalking them up to superstition and the imaginations of children. But to the locals who had seen the eerie light or heard the distant, mournful whistle, the Phantom Express was all too real. Jake Thompson, a skeptical journalist from the city, arrived in Millhaven one foggy evening. He had been sent to debunk the ghost train legend for his newspaper's Halloween edition. Armed with a camera and a flashlight, Jake made his way to the desolate rail yard, determined to uncover the truth. As midnight approached, the air grew colder and an unnatural silence settled over the area. Jake set up his camera on a tripod, pointing it towards the rusted tracks that disappeared into the darkness. He checked his watch, 11:59 p.m. He took a deep breath, his skepticism wavering just a bit in the oppressive silence. Suddenly, the ground began to tremble. A distant whistle pierced the night, echoing through the empty rail yard. Jake's heart raced as he strained to see through the thickening fog. The faint glow of a headlight emerged, growing steadily brighter. The clanking of wheels on tracks grew louder, accompanied by the rhythmic chug of an engine. Jake watched in stunned silence as the Phantom Express materialized from the fog. The train was an eerie sight, its once grand carriages now decrepit and covered in rust. Through the grimy windows, Jake could see shadowy figures staring back at him, their hollow eyes glowing with an unnatural light. Gathering his courage, Jake raised his camera and snapped a few photos. The flash seemed to agitate the ghostly passengers who pressed their faces against the glass, their expressions twisted in anguish. The train came to a halt in front of him, and the conductor, a gaunt figure in a tattered uniform, stepped onto the platform. "You shouldn't be here," the conductor said in a voice that echoed with the cries of lost souls. "This train carries the damned, and those who witness its journey risk joining them." Jake's skepticism vanished, replaced by sheer terror. He turned to run, but the fog seemed to thicken, trapping him. The conductor reached out with a skeletal hand, and Jake felt an icy grip around his wrist. The world spun, and the next thing he knew, he was on the train, surrounded by the wailing spirits of the damned. The Phantom Express began to move, the sound of its whistle drowning out Jake's screams. As the train disappeared into the fog, the camera left behind on the platform captured one final image. A ghostly train vanishing into the night, and the horrified face of Jake Thompson staring back through a window, forever part of the Phantom Express's eternal journey. In the weeks that followed, the people of Millhaven spoke of the journalist who came to debunk the legend and was never seen again. And on moonless nights, when the air is still and the fog rolls in, they say you can hear the distant whistle of the Phantom Express, forever haunting the old tracks, carrying its passengers into oblivion.